Hey folks, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. I hope you and your families are safe in this current scenario where we have COVID-19 going on. This has also given me an opportunity to do more projects. So as you see here in this particular video, I'm going to walk you through how I constructed a backyard play area for my two little girls. Due to COVID-19, we're not able to go out and to any parks or anything like that. So this actually becomes a necessity at this point in time. One small request for you guys, as you know, my channel is fairly new and I'm trying to build my subscriber base. As of today in June, I have 100 subscribers and I'm really hoping to increase this. I hope these videos are useful. I'm showing you start to finish of the projects that I'm doing. It'll just be an encouragement to me if I could get more subscribers. So I would really appreciate if you're watching this video, if you could subscribe to my channel and like it. Now in this video, I'm first going to show you the parts list of what I use for constructing the playground, and something specific to my particular need is the need to flatten the land before constructing the playground. So if you want to skip ahead and move directly to the construction of the play equipment, then you can definitely do so. But if you want to see the whole thing in terms of how I went through the journey of constructing this after flattening the land, it'll be good to watch the whole video. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned. First thing I'm going to do is to walk you through the parts list used for constructing this playground equipment. Initially, to construct the A-frame, what you need is a top beam, which is a 4x6 pressure treated ground contact timber. You need one piece of that, and you could get either the 8 feet, 10 feet or 12 feet. I got the 12 feet. Then for the A-frames on the side, you need 4x4 pressure treated ground contact timber. You need 4 of them. You could either get an 8 feet or a 10 feet. If you get the 10 feet, it's going to be deeper or higher and you'll have a wider swing radius. So I use the 10 feet. And then the A-frame brackets which connect the top beam to the A-frames, use the Eastern Jungle Gym 123 brackets, the link for which you'll see in the description. Now for the rock climbing wall, what I use for 2x6 pressure treated timber, use as many as you need to fill up the wall, to be able to mount as many of those rock climbing supports that you need to do. So what you need may differ from what I need. And then I also use the 3.5-inch deck screws. I used about 60 of them to anchor the 2x6 to the A-frame. So next thing is fasteners that I needed to put everything together. So you will need heavy duty swing anchors. I've given the link in the description of what product I purchased. You'll need 2 per swing. So if you have 2 swings, you'll need 4. To attach that to the top beam, you need lag screws. The one I used was 3/8-inch diameter, 8-inch length galvanized hexagonal lag screw, so that it would go through the 4x6 and you can basically connect a nut on the other side and hold everything together. So you'll need 2 per heavy duty anchor. So if you have 2 anchors, then you'll need 4 screws, right? So if you have 4 anchors, you need 8 screws. Then you need the same galvanized lag nut, flat washer and lock washer, all of them 3/8 inches on the other side. I use a 3/8 inch, but you may decide to use a much bigger kind of a galvanized lag screw. So it depends on exactly what you need. So the last thing is basically a spade drill bit. You want to get it a little bit smaller than the lag screw that you're going to put. So in this case, as you've seen, I got 11x32, which I can use to pre-drill the holes before I put the lag screws in. So the tools I use for assembly are a drilling machine, different sizes of drill bit extensions and various drill bits. I use an impact driver for drilling many of the holes because the regular drilling machine couldn't go through the thickness of the wood. Then I used a spade bit which is slightly smaller than the lag screws to be able to pre-drill the holes. I also use regular wrench and socket wrenches with different socket sizes for tightening the nuts. Horizontal level for checking your levels when you're mounting the rock climbing wall. Speed square for the spacer between the wood pieces in the rock climbing wall. Circular saw to cut the wood. Rubber mallet and hand plane are only needed if your wood doesn't slide into the brackets. I did not have this problem. As you're seeing here, the landscape has a slope at the top. That's where I want to put the play yard. You're seeing right there, that specific area that I'm showing right now. It has a slope coming down, so that needs to be flattened. This is more of a close-up shot of that area. I've marked the area where I need to clear and make it flat with some wooden borders with landscape timber. So what I'm planning to do is have someone come and excavate this spot. There are a lot of tree stumps as well. So this, as you see, is a guy with the excavator. He's going to come and clear that spot. So we took down a panel of the fence to let him get through into the yard. The first thing he's going to start doing is to get to the spot where I would like it to be flattened and pull out tree stumps that have grown all over. So he's, as you're seeing here, he's kind of digging in and he'll be pulling out the stump. He'll be doing it across all of the stumps that are in that area, and then he'll be putting back the dirt and compacting it. After a long day in clearing out many of the tree stumps, what he's doing now, he's spreading out the dirt. So he's going to make the whole area flat. He's going to compact it with his excavator. So you're seeing him spreading it all around. That's a great spot for putting the swing set. So this is how it looked like after he was done. So as you're seeing it, it's not very clean. So what we did after that was we swept it and then we used the tamper. So you're seeing a very clean surface now, completely flat, where we can create and mount the swing set. So that's going to be the next step in this process. Now I'm starting the actual formal assembly for the swing set. What I put down on the floor is a 4x6. What I'm doing then is the two brackets that I purchased for putting the A-frame together. I'm sliding it into the two edges of the 4x6. Many people have said that it requires you to plane the wood to put the bracket in, but I did not have that problem. It slid in fairly smoothly. Now what I'm doing is I'm just pre-drilling the holes and then putting in the lag bolts to hold it to the frame. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the hangers for the swings. So you're seeing what I'm doing here is I'm just pre-drilling the hole. I'm using a spade drill bit. As you're seeing, it doesn't enter fully. So I'm using different kinds of extensions to go in a little bit and come out a little bit, kind of thing. You got to do this very carefully just to make sure that you're not cracking the wood. So you got to go slowly in and out using different kinds of extensions until you get to the other side. Even when you get to the other side, you'll find that the hole is not fully drilled through, so you'll probably have to drill it from the other side as well a little bit. Now this is the anchor. So as you're seeing it, I'm putting it in and driving the lag bolts in. The lag bolts are around 8 inches in length. So it comes out on the other side, and then I tighten it with washers. Once the washers are in, and then I put the nuts and then tighten them. So I hand tighten first and get it to the bottommost point, and from there I use my regular wrench and tighten it. So I repeated the process and made a number of these attachments so that I can hang the different swing sets on this bar. So in the next step, what you're seeing is I'm sliding in the 4x4. I'm basically constructing the A-frame here. So I slid in one of the 4x4 10-foot length pieces into the bracket. And what I'm doing is they've given some marked template holes. So I'm pre-drilling them so that I can sink in the lag bolts. So I'm doing it in one end and then I move to the other end. This is definitely a step that needs two people. You need someone to hold the wood in while you're doing it. Now I'm making it lie down, and then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to put in the other 4x4 pieces to the other two brackets. so that now we have the structure lying on the floor, and what we have to do after putting in the lag bolts is to hoist it up. Now I'm putting the last leg in. Once this is done, it'll be in a position where it can be hoisted up. So this is the completed frame. So this is the most difficult step of the whole process. We're trying to hoist it up. As you're seeing, we're trying to lift it. It's about 300 pounds, as I said. It definitely needs 2 people, if not 3, to be able to do this. So as you're seeing, we're struggling here. We're kind of trying unsuccessfully to push it up. And then we realize that's not the right way to do it. We've got to hold the leg and then push the leg up. Here we are kind of holding at the top. Right? So that's not the right way to do it. So finally, we came to the right strategy and got it stood up. So the next step is to basically hang the swings and the trapeze to the hangers that we mounted earlier. To mount these, you're going to have to use carabiners. You may want to check with your specific swing set if it actually comes with a carabiner. If not, the hanger that I used, it actually came in with a set of carabiners. So the next step is really the construction of the rock climbing wall. So as you're seeing here, what I'm doing is I'm putting in some pieces of 2x6. Basically, these are all 8 or 10 foot pieces that I brought there, and then I'm anchoring them into the A-frame. And the way I'm spacing them out between each of those is I'm using my speed square as a spacer between each of the layer. So the only thing I had to do was to make sure that the first one was completely straight by using a level, and for every other layer above that, all that I'm doing is I'm placing the 8 foot or a 10 foot 2x6, measuring the distance and chopping it off, and just using a speed square to have the spacer, and then drilling it in using my deck screws. Right, as you're seeing here, I'm just building it piece by piece. I'm just building the whole wall up. Once this wall is done, what I'll be doing then is the putting in the rock climbing rocks. I'll link a description of that below in the description section. I'm not going to be showing how I'm doing it. It's fairly straightforward. So finally it's completed with the rock climbing wall. You're seeing my daughter actually starting to climb there. She's really enjoying it. On the side that you're seeing empty after the swing, what we're going to do is going to put a saucer swing over there. We're still thinking if we need to put a saucer swing or use that space to construct a slide. So that's still being discussed. Folks, we come to the end of the project. I hope it was useful for you to do something similar for you and your kids in your backyard. I'm sure they'll have fun for a lot of years to come. And especially with this COVID-19 going on, I think it's a really nice thing to have something like this in your backyard where they could play. If you like this video, I would appreciate if you could like and then subscribe to my channel. It really goes a long way. Thank you so much for watching.